Come to the zoo, it's what we do. Always walk back. Come to the zoo, it's what we do. Always walk back. Always walk back. Come to the zoo, it's what we do. Always walk back. There's plenty to tell you with Jack's Animal Fun Facts. Jack's Animal Fun Facts. Jack's Animal Fun Facts. Hey everybody, Jack Medved here from Jack's Animal Fun Facts. Relationships are very important to have. But when it comes to relationship, today I'm going to share with you about two different animals. This one is my grandma and Gigi and my mom write about. And this the animal we're learning about. The hippopotamus, or hippos for short. Hippos are the second and largest land animals in the world. The second largest, you got that right. Rhino, third. Elephant, largest. Hippos live in big herds or pods of 20 members. But some parts, like in Zimbabwe and southern part of Africa, they can live in huge groups and together, making 200 of them. Hippos are semi-aquatic mammals, but they spend a lot of time in rivers, lakes, and mud holes to cool off most of the day. A hippo's skin may look tough, but actually it's a little sensitive and slick and slippery too. But they can produce a natural sunscreen from their skin and roll in the mud and to cool off. They stay near water sources most of the day and they graze in plants like reeds and water plants and grass near it during the day and go out away from it to graze on grass at night. And a hungry hippo can eat 88 pounds of grass in a single sitting. That's a lot of eating your greens. Each hippo herd has the moms and their calves, and there's the bull, who's the most aggressive. Hippos may look friendly, but they can be very territorial and fearsome. They're super strong and have a mighty bite. And are very, very loud. They bellow, honk, and blare to communicate with each other. Are they often like that? Oh, not always. To most of their animals, they have great respect. Although they may be that way in the wild, but in zoos, now that's a different story. But when it comes to hippos, they live in rainforests, wetlands, and savannas. But they like to live near waters, indeed. And here's one now, coming out of the muddy water with an oxpecker sitting on his back. Whoa, what a set of teeth. Some hippos are known to have 2-foot razor-sharp tusks. While a rhino is large, the elephant is much larger, but bigger than an antelope. She may not be the biggest,
but I still wouldn't want her stepping on my foot.
They may appear a bit clumsy on dry land, Elsie, but I assure you they are extremely graceful in the water.
Yup. Although hippos can swim, and even though they're pretty heavy, they have the ability to do a special trick like an astronaut walking on the moon. It looked like swim walking to me. what I call it. And allow me to demonstrate for an astronaut impersonation. I suppose hippos look at the moon at night and before bedtime and the stars. But what about the oxpecker you mentioned? Oh, yes, oxpeckers and egrets. Yes, they sit on the hippos and pick the bugs off its skin. The hippo gets stay healthy. Although hippos are very, very big, they can also and fish that clean their skin and their teeth clean too. But even though they're big and tough, they're even known to scare off other animals. Even when they charge, they're one of the most powerful chargers. When they're threatened, they stomp their feet, show their teeth, and wiggle their ears. That means they're ready to charge. They'll chase off any that might be a threat. Hyenas, lions, and they're even tough enough to stand against crocodiles. Is that serious? We shall see. So be careful, all of you. And remember, when you see them, keep a safe distance. But let's not get over-exaggerated in this way. Although they often act like that, it's not that tense as you serious. There's nothing to worry about. But there's more to it than you think. What's that got to do with anything? That's what I'm going to tell you in this story here. Hippos aren't always that way. We're never toward other animals. It's just one thing after another. Between the Lions, Owen and Missouri. I know Between the Lions a long time ago. It's been a long time since I've seen it, and I found it somewhere online. It was a beautiful, bright day here. There's Lionel and Lena, Iona. Let's see what he's up to.
Wow, awesome, Hippo! No. In this magazine, a baby hippo is best friends with an old tortoise.
Hippopotamus is friends
with a tortoise? Yes. Everybody's got friends. It is nature's way.
lives on the land. Yes, but hippos mostly live in water.
A tortoise is a land turtle.
And their friends?
Well, yeah. You see, there was this big storm, and hey, have a look at these pictures.
Okay.
See, this is the hippo.
I love looking at magazines that have facts about animals, even my own magazine collections. Even the ones about the wildcats. But here's some more here. See this? You may have seen it before. Huh?
His name's Owen. And that's Miss A, the tortoise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Aw, look. See there? Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Once, there was a...
And you'll get the idea about this. Owen and Missouri. The story of remarkable friendship. By Between the Lions, Grandma Gigi, my mama, and Isabel Hakon, and Paula Kimbuhu. It all started once there was a baby hippo.
The hippo. In a herd.
In a herd.
Hippos.
Hippos.
The hippos lived where a
The
river
river.
flowed into
The ocean. He lived here in these parts for many months. It's for about 2 years or something. For about a year or something. Until one day, there was a very bad storm. A huge wind swept through the river and washed Owen
who was stranded on a reef.
He was stranded on a reef.
The local people
Local people rescued baby hippo.
and brought him to the beach. They named the hippo.
Yep. That's Illinois.
Rescuers.
The
So
rescuers
what
love
can you
it.
do with the baby hippo who's all alone?
Whoa. So what are they going to do with him? Well, they couldn't just take him back where he belongs. He's too young to take care of himself. So he was brought to a nature park.
Where he was released in a safe place to be cared for by people who know about hippos.
He was not the only one here. He saw bush bucks and monkeys until he saw a very large animal with a shell, an aldabra tortoise.
And it was also home to a tortoise named
Mizet. Oh. He was a big fella. Amazing sight.
From the very first day,
Owen
followed Mizet
wherever he went.
Maybe
He liked the tortoise because he's big and round like kids. But he's not a hippo.
Mizet didn't like having to tag along hippo.
At
But
first,
since Mizet was slow, there wasn't much he could do to get away from Owen. After a few days, Mizet got used to having Owen around.
didn't take a while. It took several weeks or something. At first, he didn't want him following him around, but when he realized he has something in common, and while he's slow and steady like he is, even though hippos weigh 4 tons, they can run a shocking 19 miles per hour. Yeah, they can be quicker than I thought.
And then Mizet began to follow after Owen.
After Owen.
Mizet even showed Owen the leaves he liked to eat. And Owen liked them too.
Besides grass, water, and plants, shoots, and reeds, they also eat fallen fruits, like watermelons. I love watermelon slices. Tortoises eat plants too, but they don't have teeth. Turtles and tortoises have beaks, just like birds. They use them to slice their food and strong throat muscles to swallow.
Without words, Mizet showed Owen a way to say, "Let's go."
Let's go. Careful, not to nip too much.
And one day, Owen said it to Mizet. They went into the water and hung out together.
Yeah, nice and cool.
And they took naps together.
Yeah, as long as the hippo makes sure to keep a watch on his skin here. If they feel too hot, they'll head for water. And hippos like to sleep in the water a lot. And funny how to sleep swimming. Since hippos are so heavy, they sink to the bottom while asleep and then float to the surface to breathe. And all without waking up.
No one ever could have imagined such different animals to become friends. But they did. You can never tell who will become your best friend.
I know there are so many hippo things to share about, but I thought of a very firm one just to get better. And that be, it has to do with a very simple story with someone we know. And there she is, deep in the Cincinnati Zoo, where in the state of Ohio, in the Great Lakes region, the zoos of Toledo, Columbus, Corning, the Cincinnati one, the there was a very popular hippo who was born one time. Her name was Fiona, and she was a very tiny young one. When she was born, all the keepers gave her good health checkups for every day. Her mother kept an eye on her to see how well and healthy she is, which explains she's giving good healthy improvements for the doctors. Unlike me, who try my best for weeks until the next appointment, I might mention. She encountered so many animals, the care team were doing a very special good job. Just your friendly reminder, zookeepers, the baby hippo may be a little cutie, but its mother is very protective. Look, I know hippos can get aggressive and territorial in the wild, but this is the zoo. They're more treated with care and loving tender. The young one was doing much better. And sure enough, in the family reunion, after all those, such a long time, reunion at last. Yep, there's Fiona, and boy, she gotten a little bigger. It took a little while until time to release it to its family where it belongs. Especially, not only its parents. Look who's over there nuzzling. That there is Fiona's big brother. His name was Fritzy, and he is teaching her some manners. And the story Fiona was so told for so many times, the story spread far and wide. People make storybooks about Fiona, and they were published so much, even I got some books about her too. Fiona's story was so told, boy, did she bring good joy to everyone. A great addition after all those years. Yep, that's exactly her. Congratulations, Fiona. You improved very well. You see? That's what I was talking about. So that's how it works? Hippopotamuses live in Africa, and they love the water. And they're great underwater, too. And a baby hippo is called a calf. The mother is very caring and protective of the child. Yeah, I know I'm protective of my family. Well, I kind of got in a struggle with Dad, but I'll make things right with him. At least get a good restart. Hippos sometimes get into arguments with each other, and they know to push each other and jostle their teeth like sumo wrestlers in a sword fight. They can be really tough sometimes. Their eyes, nose, and ears on top of their head, so they could see, hear, and breathe while most of their body is underwater. And they could stay underwater for more than 5 minutes. Despite their size and weight, hippos are not very clumsy. They can weigh as much as 8,000 pounds. And as you can plainly see, a hippo can open its mouth 3 feet wide. Whoa! They are also surprisingly strong. Very strong. And even scare off crocs. And just because they're big and tough, they don't deserve a reputation. And it's just their ways to survive. And for good reason here, they may be big and strong here, but there's more quality and strength more than muscle and brawn here. So where did they took him anyway? That is where they exactly brought him. There's the tortoise here, but he's just not any tortoise at all. While these things are just like the one in the book, here, you know the old saying, never judge a book by its cover. Did you know that a tortoise's neck is ticklish? If you tickle it, it can its shell, Owen and Mazza look after one another. And where the story happened? The story happened right here in the country of Kenya in Eastern Africa. And he was brought to a very special place. Yep, in a special wildlife center. And this guy, the animal you've found is an Aldabra tortoise. But before we can get to that, look at this one. This is a very small hippo. They live in swampy rainforests in Western Africa because this kind is called a pygmy hippo. Although not aggressive as its larger cousin, where they can have big, powerful bites when they feel threatened, but they're usually very shy there and like to hang around in water and mud to keep bugs away. And while the Aldabra tortoise is very incredibly large, the Aldabra tortoise is found in some parts of Aldabra, which are islands right here in the Indian Ocean off the coast of Africa. But let's get to the topic right on track and see how we can set an example for others to follow. Here we go. The Aldabra tortoise may look similar to the giant Galapagos tortoise, but it's a bumpier dome-shaped shell. Oh, and they're only found on the Aldabra Islands. These guys may be big, and there are even some found in Rodrigues, in Mauritius, and even in Chingay and Zanzibar, right? In some wildlife centers as well. They like grasslands, low scrubs, and mangrove swamps in coastal dune areas, which is where they live. They're known to make pathways through vegetation, shrubs, bushes, cactus, push small trees, and even deal with cactus because they have very thick, tough feet, so impenetrable that cat spines can't prickle through them. Although they like to hang on land, they hang out in shallow water, in places where there's water, like a pond, or a big puddle, which helps them cool off. Is that where they belong? You got that right. And check out its foot. See how thick and tough it is? When a tortoise hides in its shell, its front legs work like a shield. During the mating season, male Galapagos tortoises will, like other tortoises, will climb the female shell to see whose plastron, the bottom part of the shell, fits on top of the carapace, which is the top part of the shell. As you can plainly see, it's what they do, which is time to start raising a family. When it comes to Aldabra tortoises and hippos, both need serious protection. Do hippos need protection too? Afraid so. And why are hippos territorial? They just want it, their water source, and keep their stretch of water sources to themselves. Almost like in a stretch river, refuge from the hot sun and predators. So they defend it. But how can an Aldabra tortoise just be found in some parts in other regions? Oh, it's all about conservation. Besides why poachers are a threat to them, their habitats need protection too. Yeah, they need their habitats, including water. And believe it or not, hippos have a really good relationship with birds, and it's known as oxpeckers and egrets. And those fish clean their skin. This is what we call a symbiotic relationship. What? Symbiotic. It means both animals get something out of the deal with one another. Yeah, it's just how it works. Nature's will. Hit it, buddy. Symbiotic, 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 symbiotic. It was very big, birds very small. Sandwich feels so tall. There's the view. Keep bugs off my back. That's Tipper's day of morning snack. Symbiotic friends. Yes, we have symbiotic friends until the end. There we go, every symbiotic. Want to switch? No, thanks. Keep it clean, and that's just great. There comes back breakfast plate. Symbiotic friends. Yes, sirree, symbiotic friends until we yes, we have symbiotic friends. Yes, sirree, symbiotic friends until the end. Friends until the end. Now it's time for a little quiz before the big finale. What do you think a tortoise and a hippo have in common? Right. Both are herbivores, have thick legs, and they both very need protection by conservation. And you think they're quite a sight. There are other animals that have relationships of two different kinds, like a pigeon macaque in China, a black rhino and a sheep in South Africa, a gorilla and a kitten, that'd be Coco, by the way, and a cheetah and golden retriever that I saw in the San Diego Zoo. Relationships of two different animals that are friends. This can be very quite an amazing discovery anywhere in the world. There are sometimes very unexpected things in the world. But even though there's no way to keep friends apart, because like I always said, families and friends, nothing can keep them apart at all. And what do hippos and tortoises do like? Water. Because water helps keep them hydrated. And you need to be hydrated to stay healthy, too. Well, now you get to know a few things here. Yeah. It's time for a big, good job. Hippo. Hippo. I can see the water right got 4 stubby feet.
To help me stand.
When you look in the stream, it's really hard to find. The eyes and ears are all you'll see. Hippopotamus. Eat so much, it's hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus. There's nothing different than a hippopotamus.
Hippos look real funny when they puff their cheeks. Blowing Blair so out, it makes the whole shake. You can hear it far away. They can wiggle their ears until they're dry and open their mouths.
Hippopotamus. I eat so much, they say I'm bottomless. Hippopotamus. There's nothing different than a hippopotamus.
Now it's your turn to be a hippo. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah, how's that for an hippo impersonation? And I don't have to. And just remember, a hippo's yawn doesn't mean it's sleepy. And did you know that hippopotamus means river horse? Because of the way they run fast, because like a horse trotting like the river, they also graze like horses too, even though they're not related to them. But when it comes to relationship or neighbors, there is one. It kind of reminds me at the time I was at the San Diego Zoo and had a huge encounter that I discovered that in some parts of Africa, even the central region, there is one thing here, and that be him. Yes, here he is. See it? An okapi, a cousin of the giraffe. They both live in the Central African rainforests. And believe it or not, a hippo has great respect for a lot of other animals live in its own habitat, because cohabitation and citizenship are very important. It is just nature's way. Here, we've learned a lot here at this time. And while the hippos are known to live side by side here, especially here in the Pride Lands.
East to west. Yup, the Pride Lands are the best, no question. You can see.
Whenever huge lakes, Toby, catch your eyes.
Tide from the water, yup, Timon and Pumbaa.
Every creature has different needs in its own habitat. And what's with that okapi I'm sharing with? Well, this young male okapi, being in a different habitat, and the okapi was discovered by John Stone, which is Okapi John Stone, scientific name since he discovered it. This guy is found in the Central African region. Male okapis have big, small horns, but and while they like it here, I think this calls for why it's peaceful. From the north to the south to the east to west, the Pride Lands are the best, no question. You can see in the foot section, Lane Rato. Timon and Pumbaa, Hakuna Matata. It's so peaceful. Circle life is what it's all about.
Life in the Pride Lands, peaceful and so grand. Living is easy, just simply believe.
Yep, that hippo here was Beshti. He knows everybody, and they're always friendly toward him. Because one thing, what's important, you have to respect others. There's the bear, that growth and tree.
Plus sometimes with every little delego. And they hanging that in deep, that's a style, yo. And Bomba Canyon took the fields of Mbali, Remy, and Lopine. And the elephants be calling. It's home sweet home, now you know how we be living. One time for the Pride Lands, sing it. Life in the Pride Lands, peaceful and so grand. Living is easy, just simply leave me. Cause everyone I see is so friendly. Raising on the right, they all know there's no need to fear, and you're gonna love it right.
Yep, and that's how I had the subject of hippos and other animals on my mind. Now, my friends, now do you see why I'm trying my best to think of a good topic and try and remember it's an example about relationships? Yes. The story of Owen Mazzei was so told far and wide because it's one of the well-known animal relationship stories in the world. Though it's hard to share facts or share good examples, you might also realize that every creature different from one another, there is no rule about our differences or about friendship at all. Which is namely, never break off a relationship, because that's not very smart. But working things out and working on resolutions, that is the right thing. It is nature's way. You can find out more about hippos, tortoises, and okapis when you look online or books, or when you visit a zoo here. And what about the okapi? Well, they're found in rainforests in Central Africa. These endangered animals need protection indeed. Their brown and white marks help blend in. But we'll save that story for another I'll see you next time. See you soon. I promise to show you about that. And friends keep promises, and so do families. See you soon on Jack's Animal Fun Facts.